Good morning, good morning, good morning, bro. Is it afternoon? Let me see. Okay. What's going on Facebook? I'm just checking in real quick. I haven't really been talking a lot. I've been doing a lot of videoing and so I decided to come on here and vent a little bit, talk about it. Probably gonna need about 20 minutes of your time. What's going on, everybody? This is not a crime scene. This is just me want to talk about some things that's going on in our area with our people and everything. With our people. Our people. Our people. Now, if you racist, I suggest you just be quiet. Because we don't need none of these old racist remarks on here. We just don't need it. We don't need it. I'm talking to black folks. That's who I'm talking to. Black folks. Good afternoon. I said good morning, good afternoon. It's probably almost that time anyway. Appreciate every last one of y'all. Now let us get started. It's high noon. Let us get started. Now we want to talk about teen pregnancy. We want to talk about Dalton, the mayor of Dalton. We want to talk about that. We want to talk about crime. We want to talk about a lot of things, people. So I'm going to try to group all these things within one. All these things within one. All these things. It's a lot going on, people. For those just tuned in, this is live, uncut, unedited. This is going to be my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it, people. Don't care what nobody say. You may not like the messenger, but you better listen to the message because it may help you. I realize we're not living in a perfect world, people. Everybody is not going to like black people, melanated people, African people, Haitian people, Belizean people, whatever you consider yourself, melanated people. If you got some of this melanin in your skin, everybody may not like you. And guess what? Who cares? Who cares? Nobody cares. Some even people that look like me don't even like themselves. When they get up and look in the mirror in the morning, they don't like themselves. They can't stand to be black. They come on my page and say it. And when I put up a black crime, and you know crime don't have no color, when I put up a crime that a black person done, I get all types of remarks. But when a white person is put up on my page for carjacking, stealing or robbing, or child abuse, it's quiet. Is it quiet because you afraid of your white boss may fire you? You afraid of your white boss may see your comment on my page? Is that what you afraid of? Are you afraid of the slave master? You still a Niger to them. They don't care about you. Listen, people, hatred of black people ought to draw black people more close to each other. That's what it should do, but it don't do it. Some of us black people, we make excuses. We live in a world of denial. This world has taken the power away from parents. I was just talking to my friend, Dr. Sanders, and I'm quite sure she on this line. And she was just appalled this morning. She was saying, Martin, they put legislation in where a 13-year-old girl don't have the permission to have abortion. I've been knowing that in Illinois. Listen, mama, your teenage daughter may be on your insurance. But guess what? They're going to give her own privacy. You may go and sit in the doctor's room with her while he examine her. But he have to ask your daughter for permission. Can he reveal your health status? And if your daughter say no, he can't do it. He can't do it. He cannot do it at all. He cannot do it. He cannot do it. And I'm going to bring my friend in, Dr. Sanders, but I don't want to bring in right now. I want to talk about a few more things. Listen, let's talk about the mayor of Dalton, Tiffany. Now, a lot of you know I supported Tiffany. I prayed with her. We did a lot of things together. Marched with her in Dalton and all that. But there's so much going on now. And look, wow, and looks. But I don't agree with her policies. I mean, you got people that with a terrible background working in your administration. Now, I believe in giving felons a second chance. I believe that. But placing them in certain areas where they can be vulnerable, I don't believe in that. Now, if you went to jail for stealing money out of the cash register and served time, you serve your time. Now, I'm not putting you behind my cash register. I'm just not doing that. Now, if I hire you, I might hire you maybe for maintenance or something. And I believe in second chances. But certain situations, we should not put our employees. I can't tell you who to hire, who not to hire. But you can't have no sex offender going in people's houses and all that. You can't do, it just don't work. That's too much interaction around children and stuff like that. That's just like a sex offender working at a daycare. Even though that sex offender served his time. But it's not right. It's not right. I appreciate you hiring sex offenders and felons and all that. I appreciate that. But you got to be wise. Listen to this, people. I heard the preacher say a long time ago, and I'm not trying to go in church with y'all, a long time ago, you could be headed down a one-way street. Point. Your car could be headed a direction, but your car could be in reverse. But you head the right way, but you're going the wrong direction. To my mayor friend out in Dalton, you headed in the right direction, in the right way, but you're going the wrong direction. You're going in reverse. You're doing just the opposite. We got people out there that's complaining about the mayor of Dalton. I don't live in Dalton. I just do the media when I come out there. Don't complain to me about your mayor in Dalton if you're not willing to stand up against her. I don't want to hear nothing about in my inbox about the mayor of Dalton unless you're ready to fight. Don't call me unless you're ready to fight. The scripture said faith without works is dead. And I believe when these politicians get in office, we have to force them to do what's right. And we seen with George Floyd, Jamal and myself and others, we went down there before the country got tore up. We was in the very first riots in Minnesota, the very first one. The very first one. We brought it to the world. My point is, they would have never arrested that officer if we wouldn't have raised you know what. They would have never. So I'm saying to the Dalton residents, if you want change, you got to fight for change. You got to make the mayor of Dalton do her job. You got to make her. Now, she may have promised some of you guys jobs and you didn't get it and you upset. And I understand, rightfully so. But people, we have to do what's right by each other. My page is not designed to tie down nobody. My page is designed to tell the truth and shame the devil. And that's what I'm doing. We were out there protesting in Dalton. The police shot and killed 19-year-old young lady. Killed her. Alexis Wilson. Was nothing done. The mayor came out and spoke, and she didn't come out just like she did in public with the media. She didn't come out and publicly apologized for her statement. She was wrong. She was wrong. And I'm not standing with the Mayor of Dalton as long as she got bad behavior. You hiring folks, putting folks in position and not doing a background check, that's bogus. And I believe in second chances, giving people a chance. But people, the scripture said, don't let your good be evil spoken of. I don't have nothing bad to say about nobody. But when I speak the truth, and if the shoe fit, you're going to have to wear it. That go for me too. Sometimes when you tell the truth, it doesn't feel good. The truth hurts me too. When I get out of line, I got to get checked. And I do get checked. You may not know that, but I get checked a lot of times when I'm bogus. And I like that. I don't want no friend around me that's a yes man. Yeah, Martin, yeah, man, you right. No. When I'm wrong, you tell me when I'm wrong. If I can reprove you, I can be reproved too as well. Get checked. Now, enough of that, of Dalton. So those of you at Dalton, if you want to do something about your mayor out there and her hiring practices and all that, hey, come together. I don't live out there. You guys live out there. You got to make things happen. You got to band together with the trustees and whoever. And so you guys can get things done and you won't be set back another 20 years in debt. That's it. So don't come in my inbox and talk about Dalton if you're not willing to put the work in. Because I'm willing to come out there and video and film it. I will film it. But I'm not the forerunner of this. I'm just the media man. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much. Listen, we want to talk about these little teenagers getting abortions now. Now, personally, let me let you know my stance on abortion. I don't believe in abortion, but I do believe that a woman have a right to choose, though. I believe that. That's her choice. We all have choices. So I just want to I don't want to be no hypocrite on here, make like, oh, man, no. I believe God is the giver of life. He allows the woman to be the carrier of life. He allows the men to be the seed of life, to implant the seed into the woman. And the woman is like the fertilizer. And I just want to let you know I believe. But I don't believe that the government should control parents. I'm just me. Just me. Just me. I'm trying to bring my sister in, and she want to talk about a lot of things about this new law that they coming in. I don't know. Someone let me come and add her into it. I don't know why. Trina won't let me add it. I'm trying to add you. If they still do, I haven't didn't add long. Okay, well, while I'm waiting on that, let me just do this, people. Let's talk about crime in Chicago. Another thing. Now, crime is all crime. Listen, under Mayor Daley, the son and the junior, under Mayor Byrne, we always have had crime and homicides. So that's nothing new. You can't blame all this crime on Kim. Okay, there she is. There she is. There she is. Okay. Here she comes. Trina, I'm giving you 5 minutes now before you come on in here. 5 minutes to talk about it. 5 minutes, people. My friend Dr. Sanders like a sister. Dr. Sanders, I'm giving you 5 minutes. Hey,
man, you know I got to come back after you.
I know it, but go ahead, sister.
Let me say this. The Bible tells us as parents to rear our children up in the admiration and fear of God. The Bible gives us the right to bring our children up in the right way. What I'm pissed off what the government is about is that, let me ask the government. My question to the government, when you get through, I'm going to do my lap. I'm so sick of the government. I'm sick of the mayor. I'm sick of everybody right now. But a 13-year-old child, when I used to work at Raymar Head and Surgery Center, that used to be at 62nd and Halston, under Dr. Pimentel's. They was a husband and a wife, where ex-wife, ex-husband, however they was doing it. But I saw parents coming in there with their children at 12 and 13 years old having abortions. These girls are sexually active 11, 12, 13, and up. Now, the crazy part is that parents got to put their children on Medicaid with them. If they're not working a job, if they're a low income and they have to have some sort of insurance, you got Meridian, Molina, Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Community Health. So you have that. And what do they need? Parental consent. But now the government is saying, well, because they're 13, we need to let them make their own choice. Now these parents will go unknowingly, Martin, that these girls going to have problems when they get older to want to have a family. Because when I saw Dr. Pimentel take that hose into like a pickle jar, you know when you put pickles in?
Right.
And there's a machine of a pedal that's connected to that jar. When he inserts the hose into the young lady's area, and that machine sucks out that fetus, chops it up, and it's in a bottle. It's in that container, which is taken to use for laboratory testing, which is a part of your hair conditioning and shampoo. The parents were saying, I don't want nobody to know that my 12-year-old or 13-year-old is having sex or having a baby. Because they can produce, when they have their cycle at 12 years old, they can produce a child. So my question to the government is, what the hell is wrong with you? You want the parents to control our house, but you want to come in and say that if our children are having sex, we're going to protect them. Then why can't they get a job at 12 and 13 years old? If you're going to change everything, you want to change our belief in God, you want to take our voting rights and twist them upside down. Let's be realistic here. Mothers got to deal with this stuff. I got one daughter, but I got 5 granddaughters. I will go to jail for this. I will, with the government. Because you're wrong. How can you tell us to control our families, but then you want to make laws to have these children? You're legalizing sex at an early age. These girls gonna have little boys sneaking in their mama's house. So now what you gonna do? When Susie, little Susie, who's in 8th grade, sneak in little Johnny in their mama's house, now you're telling the children to be disobedient to the parents, but yet you want the parents to train up their children. Isn't that going to have to work backwards, you think?
Yeah.
So now you got the parents' hands tied. And to our community, we need to stop worrying about our hair and our nails and everything else. We need to be focused on what's going on with our children. My son is getting ready to graduate out of high school. And I tell him straight up about sex. His father tell him about sex. But this is crazy. 13 years old, and here it is, the governor who has all this money, this Jewish money of his. I wonder if he have any 13-year-olds in his house.
I heard that, let me say this too. I heard that they're passing out condoms to like 4th graders now, something like a condoms and stuff like that. And such a, Dr. Sanders, your sound is kind of like staticky. I don't know what that is though.
I'm on my headset. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it was like
okay.
static because, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a substitute teacher. I got kindergartners who have an attitude like they in 9th grade. They're passing out a lot of stuff. They're legalizing all of this stuff. Illinois can't abort a child. If a girl is pregnant, they have to, when they get to the 5th month, Illinois cannot abort the child past 5th month. They got to go to Wisconsin to do that. Because 6, 7, 8, 9, 4 months into the pregnancy, guess what? That baby is a baby now. Illinois is a murderous state. Let's be honest. They're murderous. But they're passing these condoms out to promote sex. But then they'll say, well, no, we want them to protect themselves from AIDS. They sitting up here chopping about a freaking vaccination. Like it's going to end the world. But now, public aid, Martin, don't want no more recipients. But when these girls get pregnant, that's not going to stop them, because guess what happens? These girls end up getting pregnant. Who are they going to need help from? So that means the welfare system that used to be for those women whose husbands went to the service. See, welfare was set up to help the families when these men went to go serve the country. In 1964, that whole thing changed. Everybody and their mama was on welfare. As they called it, general assistance, where you used to get the little food stamp booklets and all that, and you can go to the store. Well, now they call it a link card, an EBT card. Now you got all of this. So guess what? That's going to be rising numbers, because all of those girls that are 12 or 13, 14 years old, they ain't going to want to abort their babies. A lot of them are going to stay on welfare. Did the government think about that while you're trying to get rid of welfare? You know what I'm saying? You're adding more to it. So did they have a right to do that? No, they did not. Did they poll the mothers that have to do all these things? Those mothers that I had to help get them through that age, because I was just working as a medical assistant in training. But this is what I heard them. I don't know when my baby had a baby. You know, I'm not too young to grandmother. They brought their babies to the clinic and they had an abortion. Now, it is a woman's right. A woman, let's get that right with age. It is a woman's right over a certain age to choose if she wants to have a life or not. That's her choice, not mine. I don't have to answer to God for her. She got to answer to God for herself. But we're talking about babies here. Little children. 13. At 13, I was still playing my Barbie dolls.
You old now. Hey, we old now. That's back then.
You know what I'm saying? I still was playing with my Barbie house. When I turned 16, I got rid of Barbie. But Barbie was my little customized doll that I could say I had the very first Barbie doll. But now these girls are wearing weave at 12 or 13. They are cursing. I was just subbing at a school with 6th to 8th graders. And parents, you all's children have adult conversations better than you. They can cuss better than you. And talk about sex better than you. What I see as a sub in the school system. So now you're going to have a problem, Martin. You know what the next problem is going to be? When these girls are in grammar school and they're having sex with these boys, they're going to wind up pregnant in grammar school. So what is the Chicago Public School going to do about that? Because now you got to create more and more alternative schools, which is CYDI, who starts at 14 to 21. If you're pregnant, public school is not going to allow that 12 or 13 or 14-year-old to walk around with a big belly. They got to go up.
I got to go now. You breaking up.
Bro.
All right. All right, people, thank y'all for tuning in on that. Real quick, we want to talk about crime real quick. So let y'all know my stance. I don't believe in abortion, but I believe that a woman, they have a right to choose. That's her body. So I can't say, tell a woman what to do with her body. That's her choice. That's her choice. But I just want to get that clear on my stance on that. It's not a Democratic stand, not a Republican stand. That's just what I believe. That's my moral belief. That's it. That's it. I just want to let you guys know. But let me just say this, people, out in crime chasing. When I'm out there chasing crime, people, it's two things can happen, maybe three. When I'm on a crime scene, a person that's shot could either not get service right, nor the ambulance is not on the scene, or something like it. Something can happen. Most of the time, when people know that they are being watched, they do the right thing. Or at least they pretend like they're doing the right thing. And some people are not going to do the right thing unless they're supervised and they know that they are being watched. Trust me. And that's the type of world that we live in. And the world knew when that officer Chauvin killed George Floyd, he knew that the world watched it. They watched that video. And America was forced to do the right thing. And they still didn't fully do the right thing, but the right thing was they arrested and they charged and they convicted. He may not have got the time that he should have gotten as a regular citizen, but it was only because of the riots, the protesting, the looting. That was the only reason. And it shouldn't have had to come to that point. So many black men have been wrongfully killed by law enforcement, and it's covered up. And I understand both sides. The law enforcement want to go home. But when you just out blatant racist, you hate black people, you don't respect black people, but you work in their area, and you think you could do anything and everything and still get away because you are the lawyers, you are the doctors, you are the jurors, you are the police, you're everything. But there is a God that brings justice and righteousness and fairness to the land. You can't get around that. You may be in control of the food, the water, the laws, the police, a lot of the military, but there's a God that brings a balance to this thing. I got to tell the truth. Yes, we are killing ourselves every day, killing each other. But I guarantee you this, if America wasn't segregated the way it's segregated, you wouldn't be talking about that black on black crime. I call it a white supremacy talking point. You never hear the white supremacists say white on white crime or Spanish on Spanish crime or Mexican on Mexican. Why is that? Ask yourself that question, black sister and black brother. Are we the only ones out here doing drive-bys, burglary, sticking up, robbing, shooting babies? Are we the only race out here that's doing these things? Or are we the only ones that's put in the media portraying these things, these bad things? And I know we got ugly people in all races, hateful and mean people in all races, but you don't see that. You know, nobody want to talk about that. If you don't have common sense, when you turn on the television, even on social media, the media will have you thinking that black people are the only ones out here committing crime. And some of y'all believe it. The media will have black people thinking every time a black person do something, he needs to be in jail. Where they offer theirs all type of alternative outside of jail. But we get the jail cell, or we get death, shot and gunned down the street. I got to tell the truth, and the truth hurts. We know that the officers that's patrolling our communities here in Chicago are predominantly white. And we know that they don't have no respect for the community that they are serving. We have all these overly aggressive officers in our community. And it seems like they know who to pick on. The people that's trying to keep the peace, trying to do what's right, trying not to break the law. But oh man, they talk to us like dirt. But you won't go get the ones that's got that AK-47 too quick. You won't go get the ones that you know that's out there doing drive-by will spray your car. But you want to get the easy targets, the working class people, and pull them over and give them a lecture. Well, they said, Martin, are you anti-police? No, I'm not. I will call the police in a heartbeat. I appreciate all officers out there that's doing what they're supposed to do. according to what's written on the books. If you just patrolling the black community and trying to agitate people just because you know you can do it and get away with it, I don't care for you, whether you black or white. And I tell any black officers, you black before you blue. Blue is only a profession. Black is something that you cannot get out of. So I'm out here bringing crimes, letting you know what's going in your community, where not to go and where to go. Just think, people. Some of you call me when a traffic jam get on the expressway. Let me look on Martin Page to see if something happened. Let me see if I see 30 police going down Cottage Grove. Let me look on Martin Page and see what's happening. I'm giving y'all information. I'm letting you know what's going on in your community. Some of you like it, some of you don't. Now, do I always get it right? No, but I try to be as accurate as possible. I don't mention nobody, gang, tribes. I don't take one gang over another. None of that. All I want to let the people know is 3 people got shot over here. 4 people got shot. A car accident. It's a fire. That's it. Because guess what? I wasn't there when the crime happened, took place. I can only tell you what I see. You know what I know, and you see what I see when you follow me. This is real, people. This is not make-believe. And for those of you think that I'm entertainment, that you can get your popcorn, your potato chips, and your cooler and sit back and watch my live videos, and it's entertainment, but it's entertainment when it's not your mama and your daddy, your wife, your niece, or your nephew, or your uncle, or your father. But when it becomes them, it becomes your reality now. So be careful what you say about these victims of gun violence. Be careful, because it's him today or her today, and it may be you tomorrow. Some of you guys don't know the pain that it brings when you have a loved one lost to gunshot violence. You don't understand it because you never really walked through it. You can kind of like imagine in your mind, but imagine raising up a daughter, a son, and somebody just come along and boom, boom, and sniff the life right away from among them. And I'm talking about people that didn't have anything to do with street violence and all that. Now, I understand some young folks, y'all living by the sword, so you expecting to die by the sword. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about parents that know that their children was not involved in street violence, and their loved one, their daughters and their sons become victims of Chicago street violence. That's who I'm talking to and about. And parents, we have to really be honest. We got to stop turning a blind eye to our sons and daughters participating in these street activities, in this drill music, in this sex trafficking, selling drugs, and this carjacking. You riding in a car and your son telling you, this is Andre's car, he let me keep it. And you not questioning. And he take you to a grocery store to go shopping. And you guys get into a high-speed chase. What are you going to tell the police? Oh, I didn't know my son. My son told me. I believe my son. We have to question our teenagers. Our teenagers are more advanced than when we were. They have the internet. They have the TV. And they talk amongst one another. They are more advanced. That's why I say stuff like, search your child's bedroom. That's why I say stuff like that. I'm not trying to front nobody's child off or no parent off or make them look bad. Now listen, parents, Always say, you don't know what you're raising, but do the best you can. Because when our teenagers, and I have a teenager, get away from our protection, our view, we don't know what they are doing and what they are involved in. All we know, we sent them to school. We sent them to football practice. We sent them to cheerleading practice. We sent them to volleyball practice. We don't know what our children are into when they are not in our presence. And most of us that's parents that's working a 9 to 5, we're gone 12 hours a day. So we really don't know. Sometimes we ought to go to the school and ask the teacher, what do they see? What do they know? And quit being in denial. And quit blaming the deadbeat father or the deadbeat mother. Oh, I got to tell the truth and shame the devil. Got to, people. This is black love. This is black unity. This is for us, people. Us. We all we got. We all we got, people. Don't nobody like black people. Not even black people. Fall in love with yourself. And when you fall in love with yourself, you can love your sister and you can love your brother and you can treat them right. God is love. I love black people and I ain't got to explain why I love them. I love black people and I'm not going to let nobody stop me from saying that. Oh, that's racist. That ain't racist. I'm saying I love black people and I'm not afraid. And you're going to call me a racist? A black man can't be racist here in America. Only the white man can be racist. He have the power. I can stand outside on the middle of 63rd and Halsey and say, I hate all white people. That's not going to stop white people from making laws, locking up people. That's not going to stop nothing at all. People, we have to start supporting one another. I'm telling you, people, it's getting down to the wire. We looking up. We got the Mexicans. They buying every piece of property that we don't want. I'm telling you, they're getting it. And you can't be mad at the Mexicans now because they're taking an opportunity, something that we are not taking advantage of. But they got help now. Don't think that they don't have help. They got help. When I ride up and down the street and when I look at these construction jobs, you tell me a black man cannot cut grass. You tell me a black man can't do carpentry work. That myth talking about all black men are lazy. That's a lie. I'm a hard worker. I work hard for mine. I work hard. We need unity, people. I love being black. That's what we need to say to one another. And we don't care who listening, who around. Throw this up. I'm telling you, people, we need that. We have to start healing. We need that. Fall in love with thyself. That's God's gift and grace. I'm telling you, people, I've been on this earth 53 years and some days. And I have seen things change. I lived through the mass incarceration. I lived through the crack epidemic when it hit in the 80s. I lived through the Black Power movement. I lived through the 911. I lived through the GD and the BD war. I lived through a lot of things, and I've seen a lot of things. The sex trafficking. I lived through those things. I witnessed those things. People, anybody know me? I don't get paid for crime chasing. I do it because I love to do it, help my people. It's passionate. It's passionate to me. I'm not an ambulance chaser, none of those things. Not one parent that ever said that I helped them, that I charged them, or even hinted around them that I need some money, or try to go to bed with them. That's not what I'm about. I'm about truth and righteousness and justice for black people. If it wasn't for me, your son or your daughter might have bled to death. If it wasn't for me, you probably would have went in that area where all the shooting was at and ran into it. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have never known what was going on right next door to you, because it wasn't on the news. If it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for me going live, showing you that this not make believe, you would know what's going on in Chicago, where to go and where not to go, if it wasn't for me. But God blessed me to able to navigate in and out. If it wasn't for me, you'll still be sitting in cars on these high crime areas, smoking drugs. Trust me, I saved a lot of lives. Some you know, and some you may not know. If it wasn't for me putting the information out there, if it wasn't for me, your daughter would still be a runaway. If it wasn't for me and my partner, God blessed us to go out there and help find. And if it wasn't for my platform, bringing information, you probably would never know to go get your next meal, that they was giving free food or free furniture or free haircuts or whatever. I bring information. That's what I'm about. God has blessed me to be a helper. I'm a servant to the community. I'm not chasing grants, and I'm not mad at those that are trying to get a grant. But my motto is, listen, the government shouldn't have to pay you to do nothing for your own community. That's my motto. That's it. This is live, uncut, unedited. If it wasn't for me, I expose the nail salons, the beauty supplies, how they was treating our Black sisters. If it wasn't for me, and Charles McKenzie, the bake truck, how they brought it in the community and try to set the community up. People, news media is very important. You got everybody out here now is filming, and that's a good thing. We should film to protect ourselves, because now you got this police technology. They don't believe nothing we say as civilians unless we got it on camera. And I'm not throwing shade at nobody. I love being Black. Share this video.